Hi everybody, Hurray, welcome. Does this work? Are we on, Tommy? Tommy's got Tom. You can sit anywhere. Ooh, there it is. Anywhere you like up here. Thanks for waiting, everybody. We were just getting final pieces together and ready. Anywhere you like. No one wants to sit next to me? I smell delicious. Okay, everyone, I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome. Come on down to the front seats. Enjoy. We have a great crowd today. We have a phenomenal panel. We have a great discussion. I'm so excited. I'm going to introduce myself, all these lovely people up here, but for right now, let's just take a breath together. It's day one. Deep breath in. Let it go. Doesn't that feel so much better? Hooray! It's Curve day one, y'all. Can we get a hooray? Hooray! That was pretty decent. Usually I'm like, that wasn't enough. One more, but I'll take it. That was pretty good. Okay, so while you're waiting here, I just want to make sure you know you can scan this or you can go to hurraykimmay.com/curve-raffle. And at the end of today, I am raffling off a one-on-one consulting session with me, 1 hour dedicated to anything bras, business, bodies, boys, whatever you want to talk about. If it starts with a B, we'll talk about, not butterflies, I'm actually quite afraid of butterflies, that's a hot take. But anyway, so you can enter here. We'll also have an iPad floating around from Molly somewhere. Do we have the iPod or iPad here right now? No? Okay, well, if you find the iPad, it is floating around, or you can just go here and enter that form. And we'll have this up later as well, but I just want to make sure you have it. I'll give you like 5 more seconds. I see people with their phones up. Okay. Now I'm going to go. Okay. So you are in the right spot if you're here for the real scoop on selling with social media. This is a panel discussion, not necessarily a workshop. So in here you will be hopefully learning kind of about everybody come on in. Hopefully you will be learning some things, but also this isn't really a teaching opportunity. So this is really an open discussion with these lovely panelists who have some experience, but also are not here to be our exact experts on this, right? This is an open discussion of what's working, what's not worked, what are we trying, where are we going with this? This is the kind of collaborative collaboration over competition vibe that I think is so important for our industry, because even though some of these people are even competitors, right? They have their own stores. How can we work together to move our industry forward? So this is why we are doing this together. A big thank you to Curve, who makes this possible. I've actually lost count of how many panels and workshops I've hosted with Curve, but we always make it, it always happens. And I think it's so key because Curve understands that working together and learning is what's going to propel our industry forward. So just a big thank you to them for making this happen. If you happen to be at Curve LA, I will also be hosting 2 workshops there, same topic, just one a day, on upselling with empathy. So how do you sell more without being a sleazebag? Fun topic. Thank you. Okay. I think it's a good one. Empathy is my jam. So I'll give you a little background on who I am. If you don't know me, my name is Kimmay Caldwell, otherwise known as Hurray Kimmay. My first name is not Hurray, it's actually Kimmay. That happens more than you think. And I've been in this industry for 19 years, y'all. I started when I was just 20 years old, little baby right here in New York City. And now I'm 39, and the industry has changed so much, and then some things have completely stayed the same. So it's so fascinating. And I work mostly now partnering with brands to wear and share their products in a really authentic way. I love supporting boutique owners because even though, I'll tell you, even though not everybody has access to boutiques, it is so important for us to send people to get those fittings. I'm a bra fitter at heart, so I want to support fellow fitters. I actually just founded something called the Fitters Formula, which is a course, a community, and a certification for bra fitters. And we are global, y'all. We're all around the world. Oh, I'm not wearing my little pin. Well, I've got my sticker, so you can see we're all bra nerds. Hooray. And I also really understand how important it is to make bra education accessible. So when I lived in New York City for many, many years, I could send people to lots of awesome shops here. Then I moved to rural Oklahoma, which was a mind trip for me, and I was 2.5 hours from the closest store, and it was Victoria's Secret. So I was like, okay, how can we make this more accessible for people who maybe don't have a bra fitter in their backyard, and how can I train more folks to be the bra fitter in the backyard so that we get more people into wonderful undergarments and they can wear something over their heart that helps them say hooray every dang day. That is my mission. So that's me. Let's read about everybody else here. Please raise your hand when I say your name. First up, Emily. Emily has co-founded Lace and Day in Buffalo, New York in 2015, returning to a love of bra fitting that started in Denver in 2006, and was awarded Best Newcomer at Best of Intima 2016. Her mission is to instill comfort and confidence, two of my favorite things, through properly fitting undergarments. And Emily's favorite things are margaritas and massages. Yes. And this is my favorite. And she can talk for hours on end about the Buffalo Bills. Hooray! Please welcome Emily. Go Bills. Yes! Listen, I promise I did. Yeah, can we give her a round of applause? Thank you. I promise I did not invite Emily on here because we're both Buffalo Bills fans, and in deep mourning right now. It's truly because she has a phenomenal store and she's a great team member. Okay, next up, Ashley. So Ashley is the owner of Aristel in Portland, Maine. She's an expert in bra fit and founder of her own lingerie label. Her mission is to help women love what's underneath while continuing to break down the barrier that our society has created around the word lingerie, so that women can feel comfortable shopping for and enjoying lingerie for what it truly is. Also, Ashley was awarded the Instagram Excellence title from Curb and NPD in 2021. Please welcome Ashley. Amazing. Okay. iPad, please. Be good to me. Okay. Next up, Melanie. Ray of sunshine over here. Melanie is an actor, TV host, digital creator, and on-camera personality. I don't have enough hands. With a love for hamming it up. You will find this evident in anything you see in her social media. She's amazing. And that is truly who she is. Laughing entirely too loudly and sharing her insights from around the world. She travels so much. This multimedia powerhouse is making waves online and on camera with her signature brand of personality and lifestyle expertise. Please welcome Melanie. And last but not least, we have Chloe Rogers. She is the Canadian founder of Scarlet Gas, a luxury lingerie and corsetry brand. Chloe fell in love with the art of corsetry while studying fashion history at Central St. Martin's, and she's inspired by burlesque and pin-up icons of the 1940s and 50s. Chloe created Scarlet Gas to bring a fun, empowering, and ultra-high quality brand to the luxury lingerie market. Please help me welcome Chloe. So speaking of Chloe and Scarlet Gas, we have to give a big shout out to them as our sponsor. These sponsors make this happen. This is how we get to do this and meet together and learn together. But also, I've just gotten to know this brand and I'm a little bit obsessed. So I'm gonna show some of these gorgeous goodies. I know, just wait, it gets even better. While I also share something about the brand. So Scarlet Gas is a London-based luxury lingerie and corsetry brand that artfully blends 1940s and 50s vintage glamour with a contemporary vision. Founded in 2020, so she's new, y'all, by Chloe Rogers, our brand is inspired by history's alluring bombshells, pinups, burlesque dancers, creating daring pieces to awaken your inner showgirl. Our luxury garments are emboldened by couture-level corsetry techniques, dazzling hand-selected detailing, and Swiss embroidery. Our commitment to total luxury and ethical production is expressed through 100% silk, faux fur, and manufacturing in the EU, as well as our London-based atelier. We're on a mission to empower authenticity through lingerie, celebrating the beauty of all shapes and forms. And actually, I will say they have a really gorgeous fuller figured model in some of their products on the website, which I would never have thought that they would have that with this kind of branding, and it's beautiful. And your booth is right up front, just slightly to the right. So if you entered today and you whizzed past her booth, please go back and meet Chloe and ask her about the name and where the name came from, because it's a gorgeous story. And then here's a world premiere. You're seeing here first. These will not be up until the end of February. I'm like trying to remember. Nope, yes, end of February. I'm like, what day is it? But I happen to work with this beautiful brand in Paris, and look at these shots in Paris. Are you dying right now? Like, I do these shoots all the time, and I was like, wow. So, I was gonna say, so these were rushed by my photographer so that we can get them here. So please help us thank this beautiful brand. Okay, enough of me. Okay, enough of me. Okay, so content is fire and social media is gasoline. This is where we get to talk to our beautiful panelists. So first I'm going to read some quotes. I've got some quotes from people who are not on the panel. This is a great group of people, and I wanted to bring in a couple more voices. I do this every time I host a panel. So I'm going to read through some of these. We also have limited time today, so I'm probably going to skip some of these. So if you enter that raffle, make sure you check that little box that says, please email me, because I want to send you these slides afterwards, as well as just some opportunities and things like that. So if you didn't check that, go back and fill out again and check it again. But here's a couple of quotes. So this is from Kristen Bear, the owner of Kila Brava. She says, "We have tried a bit with social media marketing and ads, and so far it's just done okay. What works for us is new releases of product and posting new campaigns. Our customers love newness." And then Chai, who owns a store up in Canada, said, "What works is when you are connecting with your audience in a real way, instead of trying to sell. Fulfilling a need or a question your audience may have. Asking things like, it's a new year, how are your brows doing? And then listing things about the fit that could entice them to book appointments." And then she noted, that worked really well. So here's a little example. This is just when she was doing some holiday stuff, and she said, gift guide, if you don't know their size, no problem. Next slide. We keep all of this on file, and let's make sure that your friend or loved one gets exactly what they need. And then she had this beautiful call to action to be like, okay, contact us. So just a great example. Oh, look who it is. So right here, this is from Lace and Day, and I love this caption about how these two sisters who own this store together were away for a while and then came back and accidentally wore the same exact thing. And just like real, here we are in the store, accidentally twinning, and then here's some examples of them just giving a store tour of the day, saying, hey, it's the best time of year, you can help. Here's our phone number. Here's where you can buy. There's a link on that second one. I'm pointing down here, but you can see here. There's a link literally to like, here's more information about this product. I teach a method called the RAPE method. It's a marketing method that I've taught for a long time. And actually in the Fitters formula, there's a bonus because I think this is so important. But these links and this call to action is part of the P in RAPE, of promote, which we forget to do all the time. To actually be like, oh, this is how you take action to purchase this thing. This is how you take action to come into the store. So she's doing a really great job of it. So while I have this up here, Emily, let's ask you a question. So Emily, talk to us about showing up as yourself in social media. You and your sister do this so well. So what kind of content do your customers engage with most, and what is working for sales?
So, that was very loud. I know, hello, I'm not a quiet human. My true word that I always go back to is authenticity. And I think for us, what our customers, our followers, it's not even always customers, it's a lot of people in the industry, it's brands, it's people who just happen to follow us who live nowhere near Buffalo. They love it when we are super candid, very honest, and easy to connect with. I think that there's a lot of airbrushed and very, very filtered content on social media, and so our customers really love it, our followers really love it, and connect the most when it is really honest and authentic. So one of the things that I'm known to do is, and I have to eat my Wheaties and give myself a pep talk before I do this, but is I will strip down and put on a bathing suit and get up there and talk about it. And I'm very open about the fact that I'm 41 years old, I'm a mom of 2, I'm used to be an 8, I'm currently a 12, I had knee surgery last year, I haven't worked out, and this is how this bathing suit looks on me. And that is what we get the most engagement with, because people say, I love that you're doing this, but then they also say, oh, that's what my body's like too, and therefore I want to come in and try that. So not only does it connect with the customers, but then it also has the best opportunity to actually convert to income.
Yeah, and they can see themselves in your product and go, oh, I could wear that. So
yes.
Yeah, I love that. That's really important. And
because I'm not a size 2 19-year-old professional model.
And you know what, if that is your demographic and they match who you are, that's great. But I think in general, you can help people beyond what you look like. Your first core customers are always going to be people who can see themselves in you. Like that's just always going to be the first people that are like, oh, I get her, she gets me, I can shop there, and then they spread the word. So here's some more examples of Emily just like showing up, wearing some commando and talking about how she wears it and just being a good example and a brand ambassador for her own shop, and then showing off all the fun Christmassy stuff. So here's a great quote from Samantha Rose, who does the social media for Sugar Cookies. She said, "Our clients trust us and truly appreciate the experience that they have at the store. So where we see the most interaction with selling on social media is when someone from the store is wearing and modeling an item. Our clients connect to us and react positively, seeing us in the pieces that they are interested in on real people that they know." It's the know part. Now, if you're like, "I'm not stripping down to my undies, y'all are crazy," don't worry. There are other ways to do this, but really what it is that showing up as you part that we're talking about here. Libby, who's here, hooray, Libby, bra nerd, she says, "I post a lot of customer reviews because I think it's important for people to hear from someone else. So it doesn't even have to be you, just someone they can relate to." And she says, "And a lot about bra education, hooray, because I think it really shows people how different their experience will be from the online and big box stores that have let them down in the past." She also, I'm not going to read all of this, but she had this great experience of working with a local influencer who was referred to her by someone. And, listen, I'm an influencer too. This happened to be a very organic experience for her. And this person was like, "Hey, can I film in your store?" And she was like, "Sure." And then she was like, "Hey, can we lip sync and dance together?" And Libby, being who she was like, "Sure!" So she just showed up with her. And look at the response that they got. That's over 6,000 likes on that post, right? And now it has sent her a lot of business because she was willing to just show up, be herself, be game, and go for it. So that person helped amplify it for her, but she's already doing that on social media. She's already showing up in that way and just being herself. So great example. And then Emily here, who is the manager and buyer for A La Mode in Fells Point, says, "I have the most success selling with the 24-hour stories. I can see who of our followers and non-followers have viewed the stories and who has liked it, which helps her make more decisions in the future." She actually uses this for buying decisions. "And often I will get several direct messages inquiring about pieces I've shown. This often leads to a future in-store or online purchase or even a phone call purchase. And I think the privacy and personal attention associated with DMs via stories is preferred to main feed post interaction or paid ads." I also will add for this, she sells some spicy stuff. And some people are like, "I don't know if I want to comment publicly on this or even follow you publicly, but I'll be in your DMs and be like, 'Do you have that in extra large? Because I want to pick it up tomorrow.'" So just want to point that out too. Okay, next up, Melanie. As a professional creator, you've worked with all sorts of companies beyond lingerie. So outside of our industry, what is something that you've really seen working, or what can we try in the intimates business with selling on social media?
Thank you so much, Kimmay, and thank you all. Before we dive in, thank you for being here and showing up for something you love and something that is your livelihood. We're so grateful that you're here, and we hope you take away something really wonderful. So I think one company that is doing it so well, I joke about this, but I actually do believe they are killing it, is Taco Bell. Taco Bell social media, I think Taco Bell, Wendy's, like those companies are absolutely killing it. And I think one of the things that, you understand. I mean, my love for a cheesy gordita crunch has gone through the roof because of their social media. So one of the things that Taco Bell does really well is they follow trends that work well for them. For example, I think in this space, it's easy to go, okay, I don't necessarily want to dance in lingerie on camera when I have children, or, I'm going through something where my body doesn't look and feel the way that makes me most comfortable. But Taco Bell takes that and goes, okay, well, we're going to do a lot of these like in and out lists. We're going to do things that are a little bit unhinged, but are very fun. So I think that one of the keys is they're going to be authentic, but they're also going to make you feel like they are your friend, that you can go and hang out with them on a Friday night. I think that's one of the big things when it comes to social media. Are you relatable? Are you fun? And also, in terms of, you don't need to have like the hugest following to suddenly get picked up. It only takes that one viral moment, then suddenly have, oh, this one product just sold out in every SKU. How did that happen? Oh, it goes back to this one video. If you look at the Taco Bells, you can see how these little moments become these much larger things.
Cool, that's great advice. Wow, who knew? Taco Bell. I have shared this store as an example in like 3 panels now. I'm gonna do it again because this is a little team store in Woodward, Oklahoma, which is that 2.5 hours from the closest Target location that I lived in. Yes, I saw your face. Yes, where I lived. And they do such a great job. So this is a very tiny town where mostly things are word of mouth. But she sets up a VIP Facebook group and invites people to it. And not only does she sell in it and put things up, she pre-sells in it, y'all. She does not have the overhead to be purchasing lots of things. So she'll drop things in and get interest and get those orders so she knows she has prepaid customers. I was like, this is so smart. So if you're already clienteling and you already have great people that you're calling up and like, hey, we're getting you a bot in and we're getting great Chantel in, you can just post a picture and be like, okay, I'm at market, who wants to pre-order this? And she literally just like takes their email down, sends them a PayPal invoice, and then they pick it up at the store. I was like, this is amazing. On top of that, she's posting, like, she like tags someone. She's like, oh my gosh, this emerald green would look amazing on you. She's like, it would look amazing on me. And then people underneath it see this excitement. They're like, I need the emerald green too. Like, okay, can I get the red? I think I need one for this event coming up. It just becomes this wonderful, like again, way of being like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. It's all happening. So I just think this is like the smartest model for a small store, and I'm going to continue to share it again and again and again. Okay, here's another example outside our industry. So the thrifting model of selling on Instagram is where they literally like have things where they'll just like post it and you post on it being like mine, and then you have to email or PayPal or do whatever. The takeaway from this for us is if you have like extra stock hanging out in your store, you got like one 32C in this bright blue bra and one like 36F in this, bodysuit or whatever, pop it on social media and say like, we've got one left of this, or we've got this here, and you can actually like literally send them a link to purchase it, and then they can pick it up in your store. You can ship it to them, or they can come in if you want them to try it on with you and make sure that they fit well into it. But I just think it's such a smart way of doing things, especially with extra stock. Okay, moving on. So this is from Madison, who calls herself the TikTok's bra lady. The problem-solving approach has by far been the most effective, as we've gone so long thinking that bras themselves are the problem, and her content helps to teach people that no, actually, whatever issue they're facing, there has a solution. I'm a big proponent of bra education. And then Aurelia, who also works more in the YouTube space, she says, I use social media to sell every day. My primary platform is YouTube. However, I'm very active on LTK. That's Like to Know. If you don't know what that is, Like to Know is a platform where you can sign up for it. It's an affiliate, and then people can like that, and they'll get like a little email saying, here's those things that Aurelia was talking about. You can go purchase it right there. Her primary affiliate platform. Because she has an older demographic, and I thought this was so important, technology can sometimes be a challenge for them. So educating my audience on how to find and use the product links, or how to use the Like to Know shopping platform, is important. So if you're selling on social media, you're inviting people in, you're using links and cool things in Instagram stories, and you're like, do you know how to use this? Literally create a little tutorial. Be like, here's how you can purchase with me. Here's how you can shop with me. Here's how you make an appointment. Right here, click this thing right there. Just click it, fill out the form, you'll have an appointment with me. Okay, next. Moving on to Chloe. As a newer company, what has been a challenge or a win when spreading the word about your company with social media, and has social really turned into sales?
I think it kind of goes for all lingerie brands. It's much harder to sell through social media, especially nowadays. It's all quick shop. TikTok has like that feature that you see it, you buy it, it's like with you in like 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And lingerie's not like that. I feel like it's a much more personal experience, and the customer uses social media to build, like, not respect, but to build that community with the brand and to get to know the brand, and then they'll make the purchase. Because I feel like lingerie is just much more of a commitment, but it also makes it more exciting because then we can get really fun and creative on social media and spread the word about the company in more of like a fun, exciting way instead of a pushy sales way.
Yeah. And really what we're saying here is like, the sale might not happen on social media in order for you to be making sales with social media.
Yeah,
Does that make sense? Like, you can also even send them to your newsletter list or to your website or to come in and get that appointment, but it's still part of the sales process. And I love the building respect and trust. I think that's so important. Okay, going on. This is Tajay. She's a digital creator. She says people may find it hard selling on social media if they aren't able to communicate their brand clearly. So this is where like you have to really know what your brand is about and embrace sharing aspects of your life that others may find relatable. It can enhance your connection with your audience. This is a great one from Libby. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's great. I'll send you the slides later. But she said that someone booked with her because they thought she was funny. So, like she said she gave her a generous discount. You don't have to discount because people find you funny. But, like she just showed up and was a goofball. And people were like, okay, this is a vulnerable thing for people to do. To come in and take their clothes off in front of you is scary for people. So if they're like, okay, she's fun and funny, if that's your vibe and your brand, they will just like disarm them and have them come like, okay, I know I can go in and have a fun time with this person. Here's some examples. These are from my own DMs. I'm not in other people's DMs, so these just happen to be my own. Some of these are also comments on in the public. So one of this just says, I always appreciate the way you keep it real in such a positive, accepting, and encouraging way. Thank you. I just got this bra because of your post and I absolutely love it. Thanks, Kimmay. I saved this. It's so helpful. I almost bought a product similar to this yesterday, and I left them with it because I just wasn't sure how to use them. Big thank you. So like this education, this authenticity, it matters. This is how people make purchases. And then these three are in the DMs. I ordered these for my store. They sold out in 6 days. That's you. I just recently got fitted at a bra, and I ordered a different Alomi bra. And thanks to your page, I was inspired to finally get properly fitted at a boutique instead of a department store. What a difference. So again, this is leading to sales, even if I literally don't have a shop button. There's nothing you can buy from me. I don't actually sell, but I'm leading to sales. And then finally, this has nothing to do with lingerie, but just scheduled a massage with her. I've been looking for a treat, and this was the universe sending it to me. I just shared they had this amazing experience with a massage person, and they were like, I'm gonna book with her too. So this is what I mean. This can always lead to more sales. I think I have to skip some of these because we're running out of time, so I'm going to skip to, I have even lost it here. Well, let's just ask Ashley our next question. That'll work better. I'll leave this up here and you can read it. So Ashley, my love, you do such a great job of promoting the store while promoting other brands and Like to Know, plus sharing your own life, and this is what I think is so important. You include some really personal things. So help us understand the balance between the professional and the personal through your recent or upcoming life's journeys.
Yes. Hello, everyone. When I first took over the store, I made a very conscious decision to separate my personal and my professional. But I quickly came to realize that my core customer, my community that I was trying to build, the brand that I was trying to build, they wanted to see a person. They didn't want to just see an image. And so those kind of all started to blend together. And we are a store, first and foremost, that specializes in bra fit. That is our core offering. That is what I hang my hat on every day. And that is building a community of women that are seeking us out for that particular reason. Yes, we sell sexy lingerie too, but it's connecting with women and offering them that one-on-one service is what we are all about. And in doing so, I'm trying to connect to women of all ages, shapes, and sizes. And I understand that I am not representative physically of my core customer. And part of that reason is because this is crazy that I'm sharing this in front of all these people.
We got your hands at your back.
It is so authentic.
Hands at your back.
Sorry, but I actually have breast implants and I'm explanting in about 2 weeks because I've been having some health issues. And I have decided, as I'm shaking profusely on stage,
you have our support.
That this is just the next chapter of not only my life, but my brand and my store and the community that I have built. And so, although I'm shaking in
crying
my
with you right now. I want to stop you really quickly because what she's sharing is not unique, but it's really brave for Ashley to talk about this, especially in such a unique space. And when she first started talking about this on her personal page, I messaged her immediately, and I was like, Ashley, I'm so proud of you. So I'm gonna cry. I'm just so proud of you. I'm so
babe.
Continue on without me.
And so, I echo what you say about authenticity because that is how I feel in my heart that I want to show up. And I'm not saying that to this point I haven't been authentic. I think I have. I have decided to pivot and educate our customers and share our product in other ways. But how that translates into the social selling is, I'd be on there talking about a bra that I might actually be wearing and I might flash. And then I get 5 messages on, where'd you get your jeans? Yeah. Where are your shoes from? Link the blazer. And I very much enjoy what I do. I love being in front of the camera for my audience, and that has translated into my personal life. And to wrap that up, I would just say, I am my brand, and my brand is me. And that's what people want to connect with. They want to connect with a real person. And the last thing that I will say to that is, one thing I learned very quickly is that when you build a business, don't create a store email address that is info@ or questions@ or customer service @ If anyone ever wants to reach me, it's Ashley@Aristelle. They are emailing me and not an empty inbox, because they are a person that wants a connection and I am there for them.
Amen. Hooray. Thank you, Ashley. We're proud of you, babe. So here, Aurelia says, you are their trusted expert. It's what makes them want to buy from you. If you aren't genuine, you'll lose that trust and you'll have a tough time winning it back. So now I want to talk about where things are headed. So this is Jackie. She actually has a really popular podcast, and I was on her podcast many years ago, and I saw firsthand what somebody who authentically shares a product or something that they like, how that translates into massive sales. I was like, holy moly. And like tons of people followed me from her, and I still have followers that say like, I found you from the Natch Butte podcast. And I was like, this is fascinating. So she's a great example of this. But anyway, she says that she sees the TikTok shop as the model, and not necessarily even just the button to buy, as we're saying that may not translate for lingerie, but the straight to camera UGC, which is user generated content that feels really authentic. So less of this like polished stuff, which again may be right for certain brands, but more of this just like hopping on, talking to you, here's stuff to buy in the store, come by, yes we have this in extra small, yes we just got this in a 3X or whatever it is. Okay, so try ads. I see virtual selling going to the next level, more high-touched, very personalized, virtual bra closets that you can suggest bras for your clientele, which I think would be super cool. She has some other examples here too, but I thought that part was like, what? And then let's talk about live shopping. I actually hosted a really fun live shopping with Notori. Notori is an excellent example of live shopping. They do these really great lives where they have this feed come up where you can shop right there. And it even does translate with social media, especially if it's a rebuy of something that maybe something's familiar with. But I hosted on their behalf and did like a whole education thing plus shopping, and it was super successful. And we put it on their platform, on my platform, and on a shared platform. And it was really, really great. So Roman here, who has the brand Menagerie, says that he sees that becoming a really big trend, and he just did something called Talk Shop Live, where brands use live streaming for sales purposes. So I think it's a really cool way to go. Okay, I'm going to skip these and get right to our down the line question. In one word or a short phrase, where do you see social media sales going? Ashley, we're going to start with you and go this way all the way to Chloe.
You know, I'm going to pivot from what I said earlier.
Okay.
And I wrote it down, and just the way my brain is working these days, I feel like I need to read it, is social media is a channel. People aren't watching TV like they used to watch TV. You know, people cancel cable, they're doing the apps like Netflix and Hulu. People are on social media, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Snapchat or all those other, I don't even know, I'm just on Instagram, I don't even use Facebook.
Be real.
This Aristelle is a channel. And because people aren't watching TV anymore, they're going to social media for those content to watch. They're watching videos. They're going through stories. They're going to their
One word or phrase.
Oh God.
One word or phrase.
Oh my God.
Go down the line real quick.
No. Bye. I always said it's a channel. Social media is a channel.
There we go. Thank you.
I think we're going towards more real time versus the pre-automated where you schedule your whole month's worth of content in one go. That was more than one word.
For your schedules out there, be prepared. It's live. Go.
Same. I think we're going away from airbrushed professional photography, all of that, and doubling down on more candid content, like my sister recording videos in her bathroom while she puts her makeup on.
Yes, girl.
I would say finding your niche when it comes to social media. I
Yes.
feel like people are really picking exactly what they like and creating it and finding little communities.
I love that. Okay, next question. Emily, we're back to you. Hello, my iPad. How do you find time to create and post your social media content, apparently from the bathroom sometimes, while also running the store and like having a life and being, having a family? What kind of support do you have, or do you suggest people have?
Sleep is for the weak, right? No, this is absolutely my biggest struggle with posting. I'll come in the morning and be like, today I'm gonna record try-ons. And then all of a sudden I'm rushing out the door to run and do kid pickup. And I'm like, shoot, I didn't do it again. So a few things that I found that really work well. One, I just have to do it. Smaller tidbits I find work better. So rather than saying I'm going to record, 10 outfits or talk about this huge topic, just like, here are 2 things I want to tell you about. The other thing that I've found is mechanically, how do you do it? So I have tripod that I can set up to hold my phone. I have an Apple Watch that I can use as a remote for my phone to turn it on. So just that makes a huge difference. If I can't find the tripod, it is without a doubt propped up on a bottle of fabric wash in a fitting room, like a little bit sideways, but it works. And then the other thing that I found to be really helpful, so we have Louise, a woman on our team who is kind of in charge of the social posting. So sometimes I'll say, hey, I recorded these stories, I don't have time to upload them. I airdrop them, or we have a shared Lace and Day folder through iCloud, and I can drop them there, and then she will actually put them up, which is great because she then makes sure the links are there and all the things. But ask for help and use tools. I mean, the amount of technology out there to help you hold your phone to make it possible, and how great is it that we can just use our phones and we don't need like this really fancy video camera on the back. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
You're doing so great.
You're doing a great
We're
job.
so proud of you.
And another thing I'm excited about, I haven't done this yet, but I got a call. I've been like playing phone tag with a small business expert at the Apple store clearly I'm an iPhone user, a small business specialist in that local Apple store in Buffalo. And he called, like, how do we help you? What do you need? What are the tools? And I asked him, I said, is there someone on your staff who can give us a training class on photography and videography?
Amazing.
And so he's gonna go and get the specialist on their team, and he said, caution, we only have one person right now, and we're about to release something, so it might take a few weeks. We can't do it next week. And I'm like, well, we just moved our store, so I can't do it next week anyway.
Good advice.
But ask for help.
Yeah, ask for help.
Yeah.
I'll also admit, I do content for a living, so I'm constantly in creation mode while running a global business. No big deal. And I have a lot of help. So I have someone that I hired specifically to help me with TikTok, and basically she takes my blog post, I already had great content, and she'll chunk it down into like, this is this 15-second thing we want to talk about. Now they're longer because I just riff. But what I had a hard time doing was actually sitting down and doing them. So I have ADHD, I need someone there to mirror me. So she literally virtually meets with me every week, and we sit down and she feeds me the questions. I go, great, let's talk about it. Let's talk about you're 12 years old and is it normal to have one cup size that's bigger than the other? Yes, let's talk about this on TikTok. And then I send it all to her. She uploads them and edits little thingies. Then she uploads it for another team member of mine that schedules them out. So I'm still the creator. It's still my content. It's still me. It's still me authentically answering these beautiful questions and putting it out there. But I have other people who do what I consider the nitty-gritty part that I hate, that it's never going to get done if I have to do it. So it's absolutely okay, and you do not have to start there, right? Start with the tripod. Start with your sister. Start with somebody in your store that's just like filming it for you.
So delegation,
Yeah,
like we all
100%.
in all channels, and
100%.
The other thing I'll find, and I don't know if you find this, Ashley, but sometimes it's tricky because I'm very much the face of the business on
Right.
social. It comes more naturally to me than it does to Holly, although she does a great job. And then we've never ever asked our team members to do that. Nobody's ever wanted to, and it's not something that I'm going to ask someone else to do. But it can be tricky because then customers come in and they say, well, I want to work with Emily. And I don't have I can't work with everyone and make sure the store has things to sell. So that can definitely be a struggle when you become the face, that then people say, well, I want to work with that person. And they say, well, listen, I trained every fitter in this store. And in fact, Brittany knows more about what swim is on the floor than I do. So that can be a little tricky
So every
when
once in
you
a while
are your brand.
And every once in a while introducing your staff on social media. It doesn't have to be that they're the content creators all the time, but just introducing them. Kristen here says, start somewhere. Post images, tell your stories, create content. This is a good one, engage with comments. That's what I do. I just like go back right there and I answer those questions and those comments I get, and that feeds my social media. If I'm like, I don't know what to post about, take a comment. If somebody says like, what do I do about this? I'm like, oh, I'll just answer that in a video, and now everybody has the answer. So I'm going to jump into, because we're running out of time, I'm going to jump into our next question here with Melanie, and it comes right from this. Social media can be overwhelming, especially right now. Everywhere we turn, we are being told something. It can feel daunting to think of new ways to sell your product on social media. So how do we make your brand and product unique and stand out amongst the sea of shopping opportunities? Really, my question for you is, like, social media is changing all the time. How do you keep up, and how do you stand out?
That is such a great question, and it can take up many panels on its
In
own.
15 seconds.
Yes, I think one of the best things you can do is do what you can with what you have, right where you are. I've traveled for the past essentially 5 years, and most of my content, even whether it's a drone or me running on a beach, is something I actually shoot myself. So I understand that as someone who is a small business owner, sometimes you're the only one, and that can be exhausting. So knowing that, instead of trying to run with every trend, you don't need to do the TikTok dances, but maybe you can go, okay, well, everyone right now is doing these ins and outs lists. What are my ins and outs as someone who loves lingerie? Okay, in, lingerie that fits, out lingerie where you're like wires sticking out. Like, let's not do that anymore. I think there are ways to educate and add value while still doing trends that are fun for you. If you're not having fun and you're basically just showing up because you need to show up, I don't think that helps you or your audience. So showing up in the best way you can.
I love that. Okay, so over here we have to talk about a really important topic. This whole time we're talking about lingerie on social media. We have to talk about censorship. So this is from Merman, and he says, as the owner of a men's lingerie brand, I'm deeply concerned about the ongoing censorship and suppression of our brand across various social media platforms. The censorship not only impacts our ability to reach our target audience, but also highlights a larger issue of silencing and shaming men who embrace and enjoy wearing products. This is not a men-only situation, though. Emily has a lot to say here. I'm going to send you the slides, so I'm going to read it all. But she's actually talking about how she's gotten banned and non-followers can't engage, and like I said earlier, she has a spicy shop, so a lot of those people don't actually follow her, they just come over there, and it wasn't getting shown to them at all. So she was really struggling with this, and what do we do? So Ashley, I'm going to throw this question to you. Let's talk about censorship. If you're selling undergarments, it's very different than the jeans that people are asking about or the blazer. So how has this affected your posting, and what have you done to avoid being flagged?
Yeah, so I think it's all about the pivot, okay? Like I said before, it was my personal choice not to model the lingerie on my social media page. I made that personal choice for myself and my family and just the growth of the business. I'm not saying that's wrong, that was just my personal choice. And so, because like I said before, we are bra fit experts and we like to reach women through the lost art of bra fit is what I like to call it. We do a lot of educating, we do a lot of showing of the product. And we talk, to your point, if a customer has raised a question or they brought up a topic that we can flag for discussion. This industry, our bodies, what we're putting on our bodies is so much more than a lacy bra. It is loving what's underneath, which is my tagline, is all the layers that make that woman who she is. Her skin, what she puts over that skin, her lingerie, her clothing, and then just the full plate of her life. Her career, her relationship, her family, her wants, her desires, her needs. That is how I have decided to pivot the business and connect with women beyond the lingerie. So yes, censorship totally sucks. I've had posts taken down. I've had products that won't link. It is so incredibly frustrating. I can't change it, but I can change how I connect so that I can still continue to grow my business. So look for those pockets of pivot.
Yeah, well put with the pivot. Love that. And listen, we're, like I said, we're not going to solve all of the issues here today in this one panel discussion, and I want to continue this conversation because there are things that we can do as an industry to help each other and support this, and there are things that are sort of out of our control. So I just want to continue that conversation, but that was a great way to put it. Over here, we have Judy from Lavana Bratique, who says, customers want to see real bodies, so don't only show things in a perfect Barbie, show them on your average and plus-size customers too. She does this herself. Her team is just showing up in their lingerie in these very selfie-style photos. And again, they're just being brave and testing it out and trying it. So certain things will get flagged, certain things will not. They're just giving it a shot. What does this relate to? I don't know. Oh yeah, I do. Sorry. Okay. I had a moment. I was on the censorship train. Thank you. It's early. Okay, so this is an example of me sharing Scarlet Gask. This is at the Paris show, and I went there and I just did some examples of like showing the product, not even on me. I will be showing it on me later, as you saw earlier. But this already gets people so interested and excited. So we don't always have to show it on bodies in order for people to be like, oh, that's stunning. Oh my gosh, I need to. It's so pretty. Like these are all people just like so pumped about it. And I didn't even show it on me. And then there's one little video here where I'm wearing my full outfit and just the robe over it and showing people. So again, there are ways around this. We can excite people about the possibility of them wearing it without even showing it on a body. It is possible. Thank you. I realized why I showed that. Okay, so last question over here to Chloe, and then we'll take some Q&A after our down the line. So Chloe, as a brand owner, talk to us about supporting or collaborating with your retail partners. Maybe you have some potential retail partners out here now. What works or what would you want to do?
Well, we offer a lot of different products. We don't just offer lingerie. We specialize in corsetry, and we do very glamorous robes. And I find a lot of people gravitate towards one thing. I mean, hopefully all, but everyone knows their customers so well. And a lot of people will either go for the corsets or get the lingerie or just do the robes. And we offer that to our retail buyers. So you can buy the whole collection, or you can just get certain pieces from each collection. But yeah.
And also, you're creating beautiful content and doing partnerships with people like me that then supports the retailers too.
Yes.
Like that's an important key thing too. If you're a brand out here, it's like how can you use social media to help your stores sell, right? Like what tools can you give them to post on social media? And maybe that means something that's more geared towards their audience and maybe is less spicy and won't get flagged. So just want to like throw that out there.
Can I say one point? Sorry.
Oh my God, yeah, everyone's quick. We have questions to get to.
Something about lingerie as well that kind of like what I feel like retailers really like is our stuff is very bright and exciting.
Yeah.
And it pulls people to the lingerie section, which some people just pass right by it. But something bright, something spicy, and something glamorous pulls people into the whole section of lingerie, which makes me excited.
And gets them excited if you share it online too. If
Yeah,
they're like,
definitely.
oh, that's at your store? Excuse me. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just going to add a little thing, especially if there are brands here who are trying to figure out how to help their retail partners. There are a few things that we've found that pack shots, so product flat laid not on the body is less inclined to get blocked by the AI formulas. So they're looking at a ratio of skin to fabric. So if you do a panty on a white background, it's less inclined to be blocked than it on the body. So that one's huge. The second tip thing that I would say is if you're doing a photo shoot of all these different things, make sure you do it with someone in just the robe or just the bustier, so that if your retailers are only buying the robe, they can use those pictures. And then third, or maybe four, there are three. Third is, for the love of Pete, use product that fits the models. Like, we are bra fitters, and I cannot post pictures on a website.
That's a much longer conversation.
Oh my God, if it doesn't fit the model, so like please. And then four, have the girl stand up straight and show the product. You know, we'll get these images, and she's like, and I'm like, I'm trying to look at the bra, and all I can see is the middle of her back. So there,
Yeah, thank you. Heard. Okay. Their brands are doing their best too. I feel you. Okay, so now our final down the line question, then we'll take some Q&A. So we have just a small amount of time for Q&A, but if you have something, think of it now. We'll also do our raffle poll. So think about it. So what is one word of advice or a short phrase of encouragement to boutique owners who are struggling with or learning how to sell on social media? This time we're going to start with Chloe and come back this way.
I would say perseverance.
That's a good one.
Be authentic. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Find something that feels right for you, not what the rest of the internet's doing.
Hooray.
Find ways to add value.
It's all about connection.
Hooray! Can we have a round of applause for our panelists? Also, if you check that box, when I send you the slides, you'll also get their connection information. But right now, we're going to have a Q&A, and this is your last chance to enter. Yes, get your phones up, enter this QR right now. We're going to take a couple questions, and then we'll pull the beautiful winner. So go for it and enter right now. Anybody have a question for myself or these beautiful panelists up here? Or a comment? Don't be shy. Yes. Hold on, I'm going to come to you. Yes, tell us your name and the question.
Hi, I'm Laura from the Rack Shack. Oh, sorry, yes. Well, my question was actually is a little bit already answered, and that was like I use a lot of like plus size models, and I feel like the more skin, the more it gets flat, which is very annoying. My question was like how to get around that, but I mostly want to say something that I haven't heard in social media terms is like Pinterest. I just started posting on Pinterest, and the most traffic I've had of all my social media is Pinterest. So just my 2 cents. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a really good point. We've talked a lot about Instagram and other places here because that happens to be the most engaging place for people. But Pinterest is one of my favorite too. And we've like when I sell like a social media package to someone, we added in sort of like a bonus, and now we're like actually. So Pinterest and YouTube are just search engines, y'all. So if you put something up once, it lives up there and just floats around and gets searched for and comes up in things forever. And it's so easy to do. You can do video and photo on Pinterest as well. Great point. Anybody else have a question or a comment? Ah, here we go. I'm coming to you. Can you pass this over, please?
Hi, my name is Erica, and I have a comment for Ashley. I'm from the Wig Doctor. We're here. We sell mastectomy bras, and I'm a breast cancer survivor, 7+ years. I had reconstructive surgery and have since had an explant procedure. I want you to know that there is life after your implants are removed, and I feel fabulous now. So there is a very positive ending for you.
Thank you for sharing. Beautiful, thank you. Anybody else? Yeah.
Hi, my name is David. I'm here from the Chess Collective. We're going to be trying to start up in Boston soon. I had a question about like frequency of post. I think I have some feeling of like daunting about how much time and energy we might need to be spending on social or like creating content. So I guess the question is like, not specifically is there like a formula of how much you post, but like, is there any magic where you've been like, once we go under this amount, it starts to drop off, or yeah, just like, is there like kind of a minimum you shoot for?
Good question. I have an answer, but let's hear from over here. Anybody have something?
I would set the expectation for you personally for your own sanity, because you're going to be running in a million different directions. For myself, I wear all the hats at my store. I've had to take a step back. I've had to take the pressure off myself, feeling like I need to constantly post. Social media is a full-time job. It is a full-time job. You have to decide for you and your store and your customer base where your time and energy is going to give you the most return. For us, that is what I love the most about running the business. I hate the bookkeeping. I love doing the social media and connecting with the customers through that channel. It is a full-time job in and of itself. So to Emily's point, you know, she's working with customers, she's trying to shoot videos, she's also got a family that she's trying to take care of. So be gentle with yourself and set the expectation that some days you're gonna get more done than others. If you have days where your schedule's a little light, fill that can of content so that you can share it in the future. Okay.
So this is where I also, just give me 1 second, because I feel like earlier we were saying it's going towards more like authentic and real-time posting. However, as a business owner, you do have to kind of plan ahead a little bit. So you can still have that authentic real-time content that you're creating. You just then schedule it to share it later, right? So I do this, I'll batch like 10 videos at a time and then share them later and then repurpose them on another platform later and just sort of sprinkle it around. The repurposing is the best thing you can do, because if you want to show up on all the platforms, like pick your one that you really feel like is like your favorite place to hang out. Mine happens to be Instagram, even though I have more followers than TikTok. I love to engage with people on Instagram, but then I create it for TikTok, reshare it on Instagram, reshare it on Facebook, reshare it on Pinterest, reshare it on Twitter. Like I just reshare the same stuff all over because different people are going to see it, but also you have no idea who it's going to reach. So I will tell you, my rhythm is that I post either a post or a video 5 days a week. And we schedule this out, my team and I. Then the weekends are sort of for me. So like I posted something yesterday that was like not in our content schedule. I just really want to share it. And sometimes I share the more personal stuff on the weekends too. Like I share about infertility on the weekends, not related exactly to what I'm talking about. It's going on in my life. So I sort of share the more intimate stuff on the weekends. And then stories, I usually show up once a day in stories at least, because I just love stories myself personally. Emily.
I think I would say quality is more important than quantity. And so what I would do is say you'll get more followers, you'll get more engagement on a particular post that's high quality versus a ton of posts. And there's something to be said for higher quality, fewer posts with more engagement for the algorithm versus just frequency for the sake of frequency. And so I think the way I would approach it would be try some different things and see what resonates. So is it feed posts? Is it stories? And then how do you optimize it? So we post on Instagram, it automatically publishes to Facebook.
Repurpose.
And then we don't even have a TikTok account. I mean, I'm 41. I watch
39. Listen,
I watch TikTok. Yeah, but our core customers, we're talking like 35 to 65. I watch TikTok content 3 weeks later on Instagram Reels. That is just like how my life works, right? And I think a lot of our customers are in that boat. We don't target a 22-year-old customer. It's like that's just not our key demographic. So looking at where our customers are, and then what do they engage with, and then what do we really want to tell them and get more high quality content rather than just posting for the sake of posting. And then I will say the other platform we haven't talked about at all is Google, because think about how many people use Google Maps. And so when you pull up on Google Maps and there are pictures that show up there, and that can be user generated content, so that can be customers who take pictures. You can also add it. But the number of people who are looking at that, just don't try to change your address.
I just want to add one more thing too. Know your audience and where they are. Don't use age alone. Because actually, I'm almost 40, and I'm on TikTok, and all of my peers are constantly sending me TikToks on like a regular basis. It's like how we show love. We're like, here's 12 TikToks for you, right? And also I did a thing, I was like, anybody here in their 50s? So many people were like, it's me, hi, I'm in my 50s on TikTok. So, age alone is not the only way. You do have to know where your person shows up. Okay, we have time for like one more question or comment, maybe? Anybody have a comment? Yes? Okay, behind you. And then we gotta pull our raffle winner. Oh my gosh, hold on.
Don't be sorry.
We're from like a smaller town. Actually, we live in the upper peninsula of Michigan. So we are actually like one of the only lingerie stores up there. We found it hard to introduce lingerie up there without it like coming off as too like sexy or sleazy, because they're all kind of like very, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but reserved. Yeah. So our analytics do well, but just getting people to know we're there, like it's just been tough. So if there's any like ways that you could kind of help to introduce the world of lingerie.
Ooh, I love this. Ooh, the quickest answers.
We talk about ourselves in terms of bra fitting, swimwear, and sleepwear. Lingerie is the French word for undergarments. In America, it's clothing you wear to have sex. So
fair.
Don't. And I mean, we were talking about this, Dow and I were talking about this last night. They don't even brand their bags because it would say lingerie on the outside, and then people don't carry them. So I'm just pull it out until you really establish yourselves and talk about the things you do really well. So if you're bra fitters, talk about bra fitting, because everyone needs it.
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback on that. That's why I started pitching us as experts in bra fit. We specialize in bra fit. But I will tell you, the second I get you in the fitting room, I'm giving you one everyday basic, and then I get to choose the bras that I'm putting on your body.
And listen, this is something that we have to tackle because of the puritanical culture that we live in, and where we do think that lingerie equals sex and that sex equals bad and dirty, right? So we have to fight that. And I do think the education bit and letting people know beyond the and maybe the sexy part is exciting for you in your store, but to get people in, I usually say give them a little bit of something glittery, like what's the glittery and the gold? So shiny. So give them something shiny. Most people are probably walking around your town wearing a bra they don't like and doesn't feel good, and they're just slapping it on because they're like, I guess if I have to wear a bra today, society tells me to. And you're like, great, what if you woke up and you could open up your drawer and be like, okay, what do I get to wear today? So like start with that like sort of shiny thing that most people can relate to, and then you get to deliver the gold. Like once they're in your clutches, you're like, great, now we're here, we can talk about everything, right? And it might still be you want a bra that fits well. Great, that's still gold material, but it's like beyond that, how can we expand? So, great question.
And I'm gonna throw
Oh
one
my
more
gosh,
thing.
yes.
Lingerie as outerwear is huge, so put it with jeans.
Fashion,
and blazers.
yes, make it a
Show how
fashion
to do
choice.
that. So that
Let
is
people see how they can really wear it.
That is a huge way to get people in your store without feeling like they have to buy this sexy lingerie. But it's 2 for 1. You're buying and then you take it all off. You're ready.
I love that. You're ready. Yes, thank you, Michelle. Okay, so it's time for our raffle winner. I had Molly back here do a random generator. I promise this was not on purpose. And she has just texted me. I'm going to see who. Oh my God. So our raffle winner for a one-on-one with me, which by the way, y'all, I offer these in 2-hour sessions usually. And I'm happy to talk to you about that kind of support later. But the winner for our one-on-one raffle is Nikki Waters from La Femme Dangereuse. Congratulations. We'll connect after this. No, I'm very glad you did. So excited to have everybody here. Please, again, give our panelists another round of applause. Let's thank her. Thank yourself for being here. This has been an awesome conversation, and literally this is just like, we just basically touched the very tip of the iceberg. So please continue to have these conversations with each other. Come find me, let's connect, and let's take a picture with our panelists up here. Can someone take a picture for us? Yes, you're welcome, thank you.
You never know how you're going to end up meeting someone. Sorry. I gave her a card. Oh, okay. What is your name? My name's Karen. Do you want to I'm not on the card. I started in October. Over across the way. And I said, we've got to